This is a Heartifact Network podcast. Find us at heartifactstudios.com.au.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Welcome back to Australian Mania. It's the only wrestling podcast called Australian Mania. My host, Ricki, is always joined by Michael Thompson.
I'm back. Hello, guys.
And David Yang.
What up?
How you doing?
Living life. We at the end of the day, we burning that oil. Let's get it.
Getting that bread.
Bread acquired. Bread acquired.
Fuck, I hate us.
Fuck, I love the hump day.
Michael's back.
Yep.
How was work last week?
Shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Absolute shit. I had to look after old mate Dwayne Russell and Jared Healy for Sports Day and for Dwayne's World on 1629 SEN SA. Quick plug.
And well, there's that plug. I don't like how I'm last billed on the podcast run sheet.
Because
I introduced you last.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I saved the best for last.
Oh.
Yeah, boy.
You. Stop it. Oh. The blush is real.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So, who's handling news? Banana.
Well, before we handle news and all that,
Banana.
I actually sent this to Yang earlier. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed the fact that Triple H and Batista are using Spice Girl references in their promos.
Wow. Thanks to 2 weeks ago.
Yep. So, do you guys want the short version or the long version?
Hit the short version, Michael. I've heard the long one.
Short version will do, please.
All right, short version. So, here's what I think of the current promoing between Batista and Triple H.
Give me what I want. What I really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna. I mean, this goes on and on.
Just like that entire promo.
That is a pretty sick edit.
Not bad.
Not gonna lie.
Not bad.
There's a longer one, which I might play at the end of the podcast.
Oh,
today.
please, dear Lord, no.
No, I'll leave it for the last part. I'll leave it for next week because it's basically the whole story of Batista and Triple H in 40 seconds.
I can give it to you in 20 seconds.
But this is in 40 seconds with backing track.
I don't want backing track. Plus, we get kicked off iTunes for that shit now, man. They're cracking down on the copyright.
Oh,
I know. How dickish is that?
I know, right?
I don't want to get kicked off iTunes.
So, might as well.
Man, come on.
Might as well go into the news, and this is a good segue.
Da-na-na.
So, speaking of Triple H, after you hear that package, it's been reported that 23 years on after the infamous curtain call incident that Vince and the higher-ups wanted to fight a King of Kings. However, it was Vince Russo who persuaded Vince to give Hunter another chance, which is compelling because there's always the what-ifs in wrestling, and what if, Hunter was fired in 1996.
He would have gone to WCW, then came back to the company in 2001.
But would he have married Steph?
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
No.
The landscape of wrestling. So, if you had to apply the butterfly effect to wrestling, to everything that's happened today.
Good movie.
Excellent movie. Ashton Kutcher's best, in my opinion.
Done. Better than Jobs.
Apply that butterfly effect layer and, go all the way back to, the wrestling world we have today. What can we, attribute it to the butterfly effect-esque? It's totally got to be Triple H banging Stephanie McMahon. Has to be.
Because
has to be.
I agree with Yang, because for the fact that Triple H would not be as big of a star if it wasn't for a bit of help in the back-end offers of the McMahon family. And you know this, Rickster.
I still think we'd be right where we are.
No, because think of the landscape of wrestling in WWE today. The stars that are here, the Seth Rollins, the NXT call-ups, the boys who have been put over in the last 5 years, right? All products of Triple H being the manager and a producer of NXT, right? He would not have gotten that position, I believe, had he not dicked down Steph. Butterfly effect, Triple H. Had he not banged Stephanie McMahon, we would not have the WWE that we have today.
I still think he's a hard enough worker that even if he did get fired and then would have come back to WWE in 2001, because he, probably would have been a mid-carder in WCW.
Yeah.
And therefore, when WWE acquired WCW, all the mid-carders came and all the higher up, the fucking top build guys just waited out their contracts. So Triple H would have needed the money. He would have come to WWE. He would have worked his ass off as he did. Probably wouldn't have had DX and the Triple H character as it is today, but I still think we would be in a situation where he would have proved himself behind the scenes because he was always active in his own promos and shit.
But that's the thing, though. DX would not actually be a thing with Triple H and Shawn Michaels because Triple H would have been out of that time, and that would have changed the landscape
I still think
immensely because DX would not have been as big as what they were in the late 90s, and DX would not be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I still think we would have NXT pretty much more or less as it is today had Triple H left the company in 1997. He would have come back and still proved that he's one of the hardest workers behind the scenes when it comes to production, and I still think we would be roughly in the same position. I don't think it would have changed all that much.
Fair.
Or I could be completely wrong, and he could be the guy spearheading an AEW type thing now outside of WWE.
I'll pay that.
You put Triple H into Cody Rhodes' boots right now, and as the spearhead of AEW, is it more of it? Actually, you know what? Scrap that. I refuse to talk about AEW.
Okay, done.
Moving on.
So, before SmackDown went to air this week, an ad on Instagram made the rounds that Daniel Bryan v Kofi Kingston was announced before.
That intern's getting fired.
Yep, so whoever's responsible for that is going to be future endeavoured post-Mania.
Poor fella.
It's been announced now, but I would suggest that it was a blunder from the WWE social media team.
Oh, no
to win
shit,
the
it was a
surprise.
blunder. There was no way they wanted to do that.
And this popped up,
What an idiot.
this popped up 12 hours before SmackDown went to air too.
Yeah, no, I 100% think
But
that
did you see
obviously
Kofi's tweet on it, though?
Yeah, I know, he handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
But because they would definitely have access to the programs and that where you can schedule Instagram tweets. Instagram posts, because there's a paywall. I've tried to do it for us.
Hootsuite, bro.
Yeah, that one. But there's a paywall. So I'm not fucking paying that.
Oh, yeah.
But they would have that. I'm saying I'm just assuming that he would have put AM instead of PM. Something as simple as that.
Simple mistake. Always
And
happens.
it would have gone up as scheduled, but he put AM instead of PM. That's all he's fucked up. And we are in this situation now where it was spoiled 12 hours before. I reckon that's all it is. 100%. Because I've fucked up scheduling the podcast before, where it's gone up 12 hours late because I've put AM instead of PM.
Yeah, no. Look, I'm understanding the blunder.
Yeah.
I just love what Kofi responded with.
Oh, that was brilliant. It was perfect.
He managed to work it into gimmick,
Yeah,
which I
good on
really
him.
like.
They would have gone into absolute fucking damage control and just been
would
like...
they have? Because
just-
it works back into what we've always said. I get it, right? Shit scheduled post, but are we really sitting here going, fuck it, can't believe it was actually Kofi Kingston going into WrestleMania?
No, I know.
Are we shocked?
I know.
Had it been a graphic of Sami Zayn
Yeah, that would have been great.
sitting beside Daniel Bryan for the WWE title, then it's like, fuck.
What
okay.
is this?
Oh my god.
What are you telling us, WWE?
Did Kofi die?
Is he dead?
In breaking news, World Series Wrestling is proud to announce that the signing of AEW superstar, the bad boy Joey Janela, has joined Phoenix and Penta Jr.
I was about to say.
at World Series Wrestling.
You don't know that Phoenix has been announced.
Yeah.
Penta's only been announced.
No, Phoenix has also been announced.
Lucha Bros called it. They're there.
Both of them.
Fuck yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's looking good so far. World Series, middle of the year. I think June 27, June 28th. And then,
Lucha Bros versus Villain Enterprises, baby.
and Easy E, Eric Bischoff, is also going to be in town for World Series Wrestling that weekend too, in Melbourne too on the Sunday.
We are sussing that because that's my birthday weekend. I'm getting work off. We're going to both nights at WSW, and then we're going to go see Eric Bischoff live.
I'll come to one of those nights because I've got calling commitments for Saturday night, but I can do the Friday night and the Sunday night.
Yeah, we're
Half
doing
shit.
Friday. We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
We're going to both shows.
We might also have Eric Bischoff join us, hopefully, fingers crossed. Looking forward to that as well, which would be good. We will also get to Monday Night Raw now because Raw's numbers have dipped in viewership again, which is a dip of 4%.
And it's their own fault.
So the numbers for Raw last week were 2.695 million, which is still not good. But this week, they've dipped at a 2.589
You know why? You know why?
Because they've overbooked the Rousey feud.
Okay, but you know why, Michael? Because last week they had Brock Lesnar on the show. This week they didn't have Brock Lesnar on the show. How many more times do we have to make this statement for you to understand?
Hey, perfect, control.
It's also good
He's
because
on next week.
If their viewership goes up 4%, I
There you
want
go.
a public apology
Yep.
issued by you, Michael, before
Shit.
WrestleMania.
Okay, done.
And I want you to delete your Twitter and socials.
Lol.
No.
Do it. No, don't do it.
I
need
will.
you. I need you to retweet my tweets because David doesn't do it,
Yeah, because I do it all the time.
bitch.
You-
Oh, salt.
You-
Boys, continue on.
Yeah, you need to have a public apology of why you don't use Twitter, in my opinion.
The man, Becky Lynch, has been offered a multi-year contract with WWE, and the man heading over to WrestleMania to take on Charlotte and Rousey. We're going to touch on that, actually, close to the end of this pod when we discuss SmackDown news, because I believe that's going to be changed.
It's also...
IMO.
Her contract has also included a raise and will put pen to paper very, very soon, which I think will be around Mania season or just after Mania when she wins the championship or championships.
Why did you put quotation marks around the word wins?
Oh, I didn't. That was just me doing air quotes.
Yeah, that's what quotation marks are.
Shoot. Ballsy opinion. I don't think Becky walks away as champ.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm very suspect about this right now because I have thoughts.
We've all got thoughts.
We do.
We've all got thoughts.
We've all got thoughts.
I have opinions.
By the way, I'll do the public apology on the YouTube video instead. Make it a bit more official.
Well, go on.
So, local Chicago advertising, because they're going to be in Survivor. They're going to be in Chicago for Survivor Series this year. Commercials have already started making the rounds for Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Team Raw consisting of Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. And Team SmackDown, Styles, Orton, Mysterio, Owens, and Joe. A few people who live in Chicago.
If that's the card that they have right now...
No, it's not the card.
No, I mean, if that's the match...
That's not the match.
No, I'm just saying, obviously subject
do you know
to change.
No, do you know what that is? That is, once again, the graphics intern grabbing the first 5 PNGs he had under the Raw folder and the SmackDown folder, whacking it on a thing, and then sending it off to the All-State Arena. That's all it is.
All I'm saying
That's all it is.
All I'm saying
Someone's getting fired.
If that...
No, not someone getting fired. I'm saying...
is the Raw versus Smack... If it just so happens to be 6 months from now that this... Oh, wait, no, longer than 6 months. 8 months from now, that's the match we're going to... That's the teams... Come on, that's...
I'm down for that.
We literally had that last year.
I'm down for that.
Oh, I've seen it already. There needs to be another stipulation added to this 5-5 when it comes to Survivor Series. What was the stipulation last year's one?
Brand supremacy.
But that meant nothing because Raw went clean sweep.
Yeah, I know.
Although they would tell you that they won the pre-show.
There was a thing last year.
They didn't get anything. To my understanding, the story was literally just to put Baron Corbin over as the GM, which didn't last very long afterwards.
There was a stipulation.
After this clean sweep they had.
They had to
right?
they had to win the entire pay-per-view for Baron Corbin to keep his job. But there was no actual stipulation around the 5-on-5 men's match.
Survivor Series has become a poor man bragging rights, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It should be the winner of the men's 5-on-5. It's really hard now because there is a proper women's 5-on-5 and a tag 5-on-5. So back in the day, you would have had the men's 5-on-5. Let's say the brand split existed. You would have had them get the first 2 picks in the next shake.
That's what I'm saying. It can still be dropped. It can be that simple because it is a brand versus brand show. Literally, to a T. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be brand versus brand, right? It should be as simple as drafts, right? And then re-emphasize and reintroduce the draft system. I missed that. They did it as soon as they did the brand split in 2016, and they haven't really done it since. They've done trades.
Because now we've got the superstar shake-up every 8 months on a weird schedule.
But then Kevin Owens was drifted over to Raw not too long ago, went on injury, and now he's on SmackDown.
No, because it was after the they got fired after WrestleMania because they didn't beat Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon.
Yeah, but then they went to Raw.
They showed up on Raw after that.
Yeah.
And then now he's back on SmackDown.
Yeah.
There's no... Okay, can we... But, all right, we'll break off to this little bit.
I've got one more piece of news beforehand.
Okay, make it... Yeah.
Hurry up, we're in discussion, Michael.
All right, so even though they were the World Tag Team Champions, Dash and Dawson have still expressed how unhappy they are on WWE. They've took photos recently of some fans wearing AEW merchandise and said the fans said see you in May, with Dash and Dawson being the ones to actually interact with the fans. A few sources have said the Revival's contracts expire next Mania season 2020, and there's still speculation they will head to AEW once those contracts have expired. Even Dash has tweeted back from a fan whose nephews got Raw Tag belts for their 3rd birthday, with Dash tweeting out, please don't wish the Raw Tag champs on them for their sake.
Fair.
Make that whatever you will.
They're working us. They
can work us in a million other ways.
I know, but this is the best way to do it.
No, I agree. That is the cheekiest.
You know, they're mates with the Bucks.
Oh yeah,
and they're quite happy to do some subtle promotion for AEW because they obviously want the Bucks to succeed because that is going to be the last bastion of hope for them when they leave, if they do leave WWE.
And the Bucks also want to have the Revival on at least an episode of being the Elites. Yeah. That's their goal.
Yeah. So I'm
not against the Revival. I feel like it's almost a foregone conclusion.
I just feel like they're working us. I really don't buy into it.
No, but I'm not against it.
I'm not against it either.
I know they're working us, but I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, they're working us." Fuck.
Anyway,
Go fuck
That's
yourself.
news this week.
Anyway, all right. Let's double back. Brands.
Okay.
We were talking about this on the chat today about, what's going to happen with, people crossing over. And you were saying that you reckon they're coming to the end of the brand split there, Michael. I think you are wrong.
Oh, yeah, I think you're well wrong.
Wrong, because the issue there is Fox and USA are two very different companies. Right now, you got USA with both shows on it. Once SmackDown goes to Fox, the logistics of sharing talent across both shows becomes way harder, like supremely harder, because I don't know what Fox's rights to the characters are. Because remember, this is a fictionalized show. So if you look at it in terms of like television, that would be like someone on HBO showing up on a CW show or a USA show, or but who has the rights to that character? Does WWE retain the rights and then just lease them out to Fox and USA? Or do Fox and USA have a stake in what happens to those characters? This is going to make things real interesting, especially come Survivor Series time, because that's around the time that I think October, Fox get the deal. November is Survivor Series, usually brand v brand, and usually we have the invasion going back and forth between the two brands, but they're on the same network or owned by, even when they were on, I think, Spike or whatever, one of the smaller ones when SmackDown was not as good or not considered the A show quite or on equal footing as Raw, it was still owned by a subsidiary of USA, so you could have them going back and forth. But USA and Fox are owned by very different companies. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
No, I think you raised such an interesting point.
It's going to be interesting to see, especially if they want to do superstar shakeups. Do we have to then negotiate for a Fox contract for someone who's on Raw on USA, and then there's the logistics of that?
I think obviously I don't think any of us know, but I think the best way that they've handled it, or I think how it is being handled, is that I think WWE owns the rights to their characters. They own the rights, their proprietary rights completely over Raw and SmackDown. Yep. And I think it is a lease deal. I think it's just a platform deal, where it's just we own Raw.
Yeah.
And you are the network, right? Yep. So you provide the launching platform.
Yep.
You pay us, so they pay WWE to utilize their content.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have a say on how booking works, because they don't own.
They don't have a say on booking works, but the USA, the deal they struck with USA in, I think it was the early 2000s, right at the tail end of the Attitude Era. Mm. That was the TV deal that basically killed the Attitude Era. It was USA going, we need this to appeal to a broader audience. We need this to start to appeal to kids.
Yeah.
And that's the TV deal directly impacted how WWE television was positioned going forward.
Agreed. Yep.
And so that has led to this change in the way that we watch wrestling now, and the sort of things that we don't see anymore, like chair shots to the head, blood on TV, because of that TV deal.
Yeah.
And also because USA solely survive in the American market due to WWE Raw and having the rights to... and having
It is one of their biggest rated shows.
Yeah, and basically if they don't have Raw, then USA, I think they'll become obsolete within 12 to 18 months if they don't have any WWE programming.
I'm sure they have other stuff.
Bold call. But they're circling back. But whilst that is true, they don't own...
No, I know
the rights for them to.
But they own the way.
They own the way. They
own the way in which they're presented.
You can appear on our network if you do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But it's not saying now that we have paid you, do that, and that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think
but you're still right in the sense that now that there's an introduction of another network, completely now the networks are competing.
Because Fox, it's good because it creates competition within itself.
Yeah.
Obviously, back in the Attitude Era, the reason that it was so good was because you had the competition between. WWE on USA, and then you had WCW over on CBS or whatever, whichever one Ted Turner owned.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
for WWE.
It could be, and because apparently the deal with Fox is actually pretty lenient, because they want to prove, they asked,
they want it to be more sport,
competition based, and I don't think they're exactly adverse to doing stuff like more risky language, more violent. Not violent moves, but more impactful looking moves. Like maybe they can bring back pile drivers for a little bit and see how that goes. I'm sure WWE has a corporate structure where they're like, okay, we don't allow this, and this on TV.
Yeah.
But then there's another set of rules from the broadcaster being like, well, this is our list, this is your list. What lines up? What can we negotiate on? And then they come to a consensus list, and it's like, okay, these are the rules for what is now a PG show.
It's funny you say that too, because with USA, they want to be a bit more family-friendly oriented.
100%.
Yet Fox, when they've said the SmackDown, they want SmackDown to be a bit more edgy, and they want the product to be a bit more edgier for their audience. And it's interesting how they're gonna try, try and say like PG for Raw, but then TV 14-esque for SmackDown.
I heard a rumor that like Fox were willing to give them a TV 14 rating. I don't know if that's true. I heard it somewhere on Twitter. It could have just been some backstage bullshit, but like that would be an interesting thing.
It could happen. I'd say it would happen.
If Fox
definitely.
were happy to go like, we will give you 100% a TV 14 rating, would it just be the language that gets used? Would it be the violence in the ring would change? Like, what aspects of that would WWE go, okay, this frees us up a little bit more to do X, Y, Z, but what parts of that still don't mesh with the current corporate culture within WWE? Is like,
I think they'll drop the F-bomb and the S-bomb over the course a little bit. And
not the F.
No,
way.
But
Like
the S-bomb and they'll say like the word bitch and all that and bastard.
Yeah, because bitch now gets
thrown around quite a bit.
It gets censored in rebroadcast, but usually live it goes out.
Yeah, it goes out. But like
it does depend on who's like quick on that dump button.
If it's TV 14, I think it'll be
we're
more.
We're gonna get a lot more bitches.
Yeah, but I think more physicality. I think the violence is gonna up
like,
the ante.
Obviously, chair shots to the head are a thing of the past.
Yeah,
but
due to the concussion
I don't know,
stuff
maybe,
and other stuff.
I mean, everywhere else does pile drivers, and WWE is still just so against them.
I think maybe more backstage brawls, maybe.
Yeah.
Like more that sort
like
of stuff.
More
I reckon they'll bring back the blade job.
No. See that's one of the things. That's like the WWE corporate structure now is no blood. Like they have 100% adopted that in special cases.
I was going to say there's still like the odd one
when
where
your name is Brock Lesnar
or Batista
or Roman Reigns. Like
when did Roman Reigns blade?
Not blade, but
he blood capsuled.
Blood for Brock match.
No, the Triple H. Do you remember the Triple H build for 32?
Yeah.
And he's leaning on the announce table.
No, I do know that.
Does this, and then all of a sudden he's just covered in like really shitty looking fake blood.
Yeah.
And then there was like someone had a phone camera behind Byron Saxton.
There was nothing Saxton wrong with the blade job, wasn't there? Like,
I mean,
once taught, it's a safe method.
I know, but I think that was around the time that the Abdullah the Butcher lawsuit was gaining some traction in the mainstream media of him like giving hepatitis to a bunch of people.
If you look at Mania this year, Batista, in his match against Triple H, Batista will be asking to bleed.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure Vince is going to say no. I'm sure he's going to remind him of the last time you bladed, I fined you $200,000. And Jericho.
But then Batista will be like, you know what? This is my last fucking match. Get fucked. I'm bleeding whether you like it or not.
I feel like that match does need a bit of blood.
It does.
I'm sure.
Like,
I'm
if
sure
we had to
it'll
look
have
at the matches on
sure
WrestleMania currently, needs blood?
Batista Triple H,
Batista
definitely.
Triple H needs blood. I would argue Rousey.
Oh, fuck
Rousey,
yeah.
Becky
Fuck
needs
yes.
a blood spot.
What about Shane and The Miz for the Falls Count Anywhere match?
That has to have a blood spot.
What does Shane fall off?
See, now, isn't that excellent? That he had to go out and make this a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yeah.
Because now what does Shane fall off?
I know.
Like,
what?
Have we got stage design yet?
No, it's usually after Raw, because it takes them about like 5 days to build the set.
Yeah.
So usually after Raw and SmackDown, then we start to see stuff pop on the socials. So
all right. Once we get a look at the stage...
From Wednesday onwards, we'll have an idea of what we're looking at.
Can we get Shane like big-ass ladder so he can jump off one of the TV trons?
He's 100% jumping off the stage.
Yeah.
One of the
I think so, yeah.
Like,
I can
atop the W.
I can 100% see them doing
100-foot fall into a pool.
Oh,
like,
God. No, I can see this being like the one he was against Big Show, I think.
Oh,
and he goes up the scaffolding on the side of the big Titantron. Just falls backwards into the rigging.
Black Man Kendo sticked him in the back of the head.
That's right.
And he fell. But then what happened?
Fuck, what a fall. It's an iconic fall.
Yeah, it is iconic fall.
Because it's just one leg up. Like, it's just a one-leg stiff fall.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But then 9 months, it's funny here because 9 months later,
so good.
He actually had a match against Test. Same thing, but he had Big Show helping him. Big Show was holding Test.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so Big Show was holding Test down, and then Shane jumped off and...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but it's those rigging boxes on the like which would have all like the gaff equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're really just padded.
But my favorite
Big
fall though is him jumping off the Unforgiven stage and missing Kane.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was great.
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be like some equipment with big air quotes around it, like I reckon side stage, like next
I'm waiting
to the
for
ramp.
Shane to just like, I'm waiting for that meme to come out going, okay, Shane's looking at something, I'm going to jump off that, or I'm going to jump off that.
Oh, they'll start popping up now that it's
Yep.
force cans anyway. They're going to be
yeah.
like, yeah, what's
Yep.
he going to jump off?
Or I just want a blueprint of what they have for the stage setup.
Yeah.
And I just want to circle. Okay.
This is definitely here.
Shane, you can jump from here.
Yep.
You can jump from here. Don't jump from here. Don't jump from there, Shane.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Oh, but you can go here.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the run sheet right now.
Yes.
Can we talk about the fact that Finn Balor won that match to get into the IC picture? Does that pretty much confirm that now Taker's just not on the card?
Pretty much.
I'm not okay.
What does Taker do?
I'm not okay. What was it? Not 2 weeks ago when we heard
You know the worst thing is,
big match for Finn at WrestleMania.
I know.
Reason why he drops IC belt.
And now he's probably going to.
And now he's probably going to win the
Does
belt.
he? Is there any?
He comes out as
No.
demon and he squashes Bobby Lashley.
Is there any point in him picking it back up?
If he comes out as demon and loses to Bobby Lashley, I'm
No,
actually
I'm
unsubscribing.
saying, like, let's say he doesn't come out.
I'll
as
hold
demon
you to
back.
that.
Oh,
I'll
unlike
hold-
you, Michael, I'll fucking do it.
Let's
Do it then, you
let's assume
fuckwits.
he doesn't
Bitch.
come out in demon gimmick.
Fight me.
If he doesn't come out in demon gimmick, he takes the loss.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
what is the point of him losing it just to win it back straight away? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it
Maybe the plan was for
And-
him to do Taker, and here we are just doing the
well,
JOB.
fucking Taker just got booked for fucking Saudi Arabia in May.
Yeah, exactly. So he's still on fucking WWE's books.
Doing my head in, man. Do you reckon he fights Finn at Saudi Arabia? That would make me watch that show. Like, I don't want to watch that
I
show,
would.
but I would watch that show.
Imagine Finn vs Undertaker for the Intercontinental Championship in Saudi Arabia.
That's never going to happen.
I'd rate it, actually.
I'll rate that too, actually.
I'd rate
Take-
the
take-
randomness of Taker going
Yeah,
after...
Taker picks up the belt.
just Taker inserts himself into the US title scene.
Yeah, yeah.
I would be 100% okay behind that.
Take
gimmick.
it. Take it. The best.
And
the
then
best
Taker
thing is
comes
that
out every week and does a dead man open challenge every week.
it's the no. Taker with the IC belt. The contrast of the black and the
He's
white.
behind that.
Oh,
You're behind that.
I'm behind the
The
gimmick
dead man
of...
open
Hang on,
challenge.
hang on,
I
hang
would
on.
love
Can I-
Brock Lesnar if you would just give him like 100,000. Like Brock, he's another like 100,000.
Can we back
but
up
go
a bit?
out there, open the show, call out the IC champion, and strap yourself with the IC belt.
Has Taker ever held a mid card belt?
No.
Yes,
well-
hardcore title.
I'm not. I'm talking in like current.
So in the current meta of Grand Slam champion, no, neither
no.
is Brock.
Oh yeah, definitely Brock.
Yeah,
wouldn't.
Brock has exclusively won world titles.
Yeah.
I respect that from the
Yeah. I
beginning.
mean,
they
because
looked
like
at Brock
the
and said,
hardcore
"You're a
title,
world champion."
yeah, the hardcore title was handed around like a fucking like whatever.
Toy.
It didn't matter. But for like legit mid card titles,
No.
Yeah.
Like
He's
Taker
never
was a
held one.
tag champion a few times with Kane, but that's about it.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
okay, yeah. So
I consider tag in a different realm,
yeah, it is.
right? Singles and tag, they're separate
Yeah,
in my
like
opinion.
if you're the tag, you're the world tag champ. You're the best team in the world.
you're the best team.
But if you're the best intercontinental champion or the best US champion, it's not as
you fall within the singles competition.
Yeah.
You are a stepping stone up until because you want to go for the world title.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
No,
so-
I don't think he has.
No,
But I've always thought it was
'cause-
so interesting that Brock never has, and I like that.
Yeah,
about him.
no, like he was one of the ones. Like you remember him coming out like 2002 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He went like straight after the main event scene. Like they obviously had massive plans for him back
Yeah.
then. So that's another. Yeah. So
I like to believe-
Oh no, wait. Cena held the US
No,
title
Cena's
before.
held.
Yep.
No, I was saying like he didn't
Cena's a
hold
two-time
the.
The only
US
thing he
champion.
hasn't held is the IC belt.
That's right.
He's a
Man, that's weird.
five-time
That's-
US champion.
That's
isn't he?
weird.
I was going to say up until one point as well, but this also changed a year and a half ago. But Randy, for a long time, didn't hold the US title belt up until 12 to 18
Yeah,
months
but he was
ago.
an IC champion.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
because he was on Raw, which is where the IC title pretty much lived
Yeah.
for the entire 2000s.
But it was good that Randy at least won the US title belt at least once in
I
his
like to
career.
believe Finn
Hmm.
was going to be someone who didn't win mid-card belts had he had not gone down for injury.
Do you know who actually hasn't won the
Because he took it. I feel like they still had that belief too, and then they changed their mind, and then he won the IC belt. But I like to believe Finn would have fallen into the category.
We actually
of,
had this
"All right,
conversation too
Just give him world titles.
as well. It's dawned on us as well because of his, commitment to both promotions, WCW and WWE. But I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Ray beat Samoa Joe for the US title because he's never held the US belt.
Yeah, I think that'll be one of the feel-good moments.
Yeah.
Because he'll become a Grand Slam.
Wait, has Ray never held the US title?
He's never
No,
held it.
never.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was on SmackDown for so long, and it was on SmackDown for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
But he was after that world title.
He's a world, IC, and tag.
Because
and WWE.
because when
No,
SmackDown...
they just count world. So world
Sorry,
title.
sorry.
Because originally when they
tag.
split up, Ray was exclusive to the Cruiserweight division, and he carried that Cruiserweight division on his shoulders for 2 years.
The big gold belt's still canon to me, mate.
Would he be the only cruiserweight champion to ever be a Grand Slam champion as well?
Maybe.
Something. To think
I'm looking
about.
forward to that match, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
Joe,
I am
Joe,
too.
that's one of the ones
I
on
am
the.
too.
Okay.
I don't think you're throwing Jade in it.
Can we just? How is this? We were talking about this before. Are you hyped for this Mania card?
Look,
And especially
all right,
after-
well, this will be
after
how we
this-
break
after-
down what happened this week.
After this week, right? What has happened, especially on SmackDown?
All right,
Like,
let's just
SmackDown.
dot point what's happened this week.
Okay,
So start with Raw.
Okay, Raw did bugger all.
There was a beat
So
the
they've
clock match that never happened.
Moving on to SmackDown.
Oh no, so we'll just quickly. So they've officially
nothing
announced
happened on
Roman
Raw.
versus Corbin.
Yeah. Okay. We
Yeah,
knew that
that's
was
what I'm saying.
happening.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like what they've announced now and how they announced it, and then that's what's going to go forward. So
Yeah,
Raw,
yeah.
they officially announced Corbin versus Roman.
They officially announced.
After burying Dean Ambrose.
McIntyre versus Roman, you mean?
Oh, McIntyre, my bad.
Yeah.
So Corbin Angle seems to still be going forward.
Yeah.
I've got judgment on that match might change on the actual night itself.
See, I reckon you're right. I reckon it changes on the night.
I
Yeah.
reckon it changes on the night.
I think,
but I think that's.
I think I'm going to say it now. I think Cena attacks Corbin backstage, comes out to a massive pop. Kurt Angle has the biggest smile on his face, knowing that the right man is facing him in his last match.
Fair enough.
In WWE.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I've got nothing to say about that because I think I agree. I would like that to happen, but at the same time, I still would like Corbin to actually face Kurt Angle.
Because Cena's actually on, I think, a 3-week shooting break as well around Mania season as well. So he's on a little bit of a break from filming
Well, I mean, he's
kung fu movies and having ridiculously bad haircuts.
he's been booked, hasn't he? Like there's like
He's been booked, yeah.
no doubt that he's going to be there. Like someone backstage has said this is the run sheet for WrestleMania.
He's also confirmed.
He's on the run sheet.
He's confirmed for the Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he'll be there.
I'm not watching the Hall of Fame.
No.
I might watch the DX segment. That's about it.
I might watch the Honky Tonk Man thing. I think
I-
Honky Tonk would be good. And that's about it.
Honky Tonk is going to be the one this year that goes on way too long, and they like ushering him off the stage. Like that'll do. Come on.
And I also want to watch the Hart Foundation speech too.
I'm glad they got in.
Only because I just want
But
to.
no Owen.
Does this make Brett a 2-time Hall of Fame?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
He's
really,
Brett and then-
they're really like starting to like
Yeah.
run out of people, and just start putting.
Are they though? Are they running out of people? Because I think there's
You
still
know,
people.
you know my feeling about the Hall of Fame when it comes to people who somehow have gotten into the Hall of Fame. My thing is always going to be the fucking pimp guy. What's his
Godfather.
Godfather, thank you.
Pimpin' ain't busy.
How the fuck did he get in the Hall of Fame? Like if that's your low ball, then just pretty much anyone who had a run of more than a year on WWE television in the last 30 years somehow has earned a spot in the Hall of Fame.
It'll also be Billy
Because-
Gunn's last appearance in WWE before he begins full-time producing for AEW.
That'll be interesting.
Yep.
That'll be very interesting.
That'll be intriguing.
Yes.
Right.
I wonder what he says.
I was going to say that.
And on SmackDown,
Yep,
we'll just quickly
SmackDown.
wrap up what we were discussing before.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
was Raw.
yeah.
And on
Raw-
SmackDown,
Oh, and
So-
we obviously got Finn confirmed to fight Bobby.
oh yeah, Finn confirmed to fight Bobby. Oh,
Yeah.
God, that
And
just
the
annoyed-
fucking
bitter
the
taste
women's
to say.
tag match.
And the women's, and I'm annoyed with that too.
Why are you annoyed with that?
Because they did everything but bringing in the NXT people. I think because they did ones from SmackDown, they did a Raw one, 2 Raw ones.
Yeah, 'cause
Obviously, if you
Because the
count-
champs are Raw. Yeah.
No, 3 Raw ones.
Would you count Beth Phoenix, though?
Because that's what I'm
as Raw?
saying. Beth Phoenix.
Yeah,
I
but
reckon
Natalya.
Champs, when we first pitched the idea, champs don't count. So 1 from Raw, 1 from SmackDown, 1 from NXT, and then
Yep.
champs. Fatal
Yep.
4-way.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
They did the 1 from SmackDown, they did the
Yeah.
1 from Raw, then they added another 1 from Raw.
Yeah.
They didn't need to do Nia and Tamina.
Where are the Sky Pirates?
Bring in Sky Pirates.
Fuck yes.
Bring up the NXT girls.
Please.
Right? Like, they're
be-
ready.
To be
come
fair,
out.
So that's why I'm not okay with that.
I would have preferred Natalya and Beth Phoenix versus Nia and Tamina as a separate tag match to the.
To earn the spot.
Yeah.
I reckon to earn the spot,
Well, I
and then
mean-
they go on. Right?
What happened to because the rumor was Trish and Lita. Obviously, that's not happening now.
Yeah.
Unless we have a Hardy Boy situation where Alexa Bliss comes out and says this match is now a fatal 5-way, and out come Lita and Trish Stratus. They could actually do that.
Or
couldn't
the
they?
Sky
That'd
Pirates.
be lit, low
They could actually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Or the
rate
Sky
that.
Pirates.
WWE, don't steal my ideas, or at least pay me for them. But SmackDown actually progressed story this week. We had progression in the Rousey feud, and we had progression in the Kofi Kingston feud.
Well, the biggest shock probably is that Charlotte is now an 8-time women's champion. She surpassed Trish Stratus.
How
Fuck me,
do
man.
we break that one down?
What
do we
I
think?
fucking love it, to be honest.
Honestly,
I love
Where do
it.
you start?
I don't know how I feel about
I
it.
don't.
You know-
I don't like
Because
it.
there's a
You don't-
lot of... There's a
okay,
lot
so we
of-
have an interesting.
Oh, we have...
an interesting dynamic in here.
all
I
parts of the spectrum.
fucking love it. You don't like it, Michael, and
No.
Dave is on the fence.
I'm literally both camps.
Okay.
It's a waste on
understand-
Oscar.
It is.
That's why.
Okay, but this is the thing. They haven't actually announced anything official as to what this means for the triple threat match in the main event.
So, it's the crumbs. Now you want to tune in next week. I get
Exactly.
it.
Like, how are they going to proceed? I see there's probably about 3 courses of action here. 1, Charlotte pulls double duty. Defends the belt against Asuka.
Okay.
And then has the triple
Hold
threat
on.
match. Because
I like it and I don't like it.
Because that would give her a bit of an out for taking the pin/tap.
That's
It does.
stupid,
It does.
though.
It
No,
does.
it's not. No, it's not.
Why
Why is it stupid?
You don't need that in that match. You don't need to have this gimmick play over the top of what is now the women's main event, which is making history, the Becky story arc, and the Ronda heel. You don't need a I'm now tired Charlotte coming into the match to be like, there's our finish. It doesn't need it.
She's
clean.
she's in the match to take the finish anyway.
Okay, but she doesn't need to have a match 20 minutes
No,
before
but this
it.
protects her though. It does.
But
it
by
does.
protecting Charlotte, you diminish whoever pins her.
No, you don't.
Because
No, you
at the
don't.
same time, what if they go on for 40 minutes and now we're looking at Charlotte going, fuck, God, this woman can really go. Then she goes out and takes a pin and we're just sitting there going, of course she was going to take a pin. She literally just wrestled 40 minutes beforehand.
She's taken.
in
Well,
her
okay,
match.
dude, this is a 7.
Charlotte gets a huge rub.
This is a
right?
yeah, exactly.
But
This is a
if
7.
Becky pins her, she
This is
sits there
a
and-
7-hour show, man. She could be on the first fucking match of the pre-show, losing that title, and then wait 7 hours before she comes out for the main event. That is realistically enough time to recover from that first match.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I've got another idea what they could do.
Boom.
So, in 2000, there was a 2-4 triple threat match for the Intercontinental and European title between Jericho, Benoit, and Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
What I would think, this is my idea fantasy booking. The first 4 goes to the Smackdown Championship match between the 3 women, and then the second 4 is for the Raw Women's Championship. So you have Charlotte winning the first 4. She keeps the Smackdown Women's Championship. She stays on SmackDown, and then you have Becky winning the second 4. And she becomes the Raw Women's Champion, and that closes the show.
This fucking main event doesn't need any more gimmicks.
No.
It doesn't.
Also, if you watch that match back, it's pretty messy.
It is pretty messy.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. Like,
Right.
okay, my other 2 options were it's just for both belts.
I don't like that.
Both belts?
I don't like that at all.
Option. How do you not like that?
I don't like that for the
I
fact
like
that
it. It
Becky-
just doesn't make logistical
because
sense.
that's the
I
end,
don't give a shit.
That's the end of the brand split right there.
No,
if
it's
you
not.
put both belts
No, it's not.
on one woman.
There is so many opportunities for her to drop one of those belts in the next 4 weeks before the next, or at the next pay-per-view. Simple. But just the image of her with both belts at the top of the ramp while the watermark comes
That's-
up at the end of WrestleMania, the
no.
crowd going fucking nuts.
No.
I'm
Or
wet.
option
I am
C-
wet and or moist for that.
Or option C, Charlotte moves out of the picture, defends only against Asuka, and we get Becky versus Rousey.
Which I also would like.
Which is what we've wanted from the fucking
Which
get-go.
is, and we were talking before the show, if that is the route they go, I'm okay with it.
It should have
but
been done 3 weeks ago.
Exactly. You shouldn't have done it the week of Mania.
But then I love the one next option is that it's just for the Raw Women's Championship, and basically Charlotte takes the pin or submits, but then she is exclusively just a SmackDown, and then Becky moves to Raw, and then you have Becky, who's the torchbearer on Raw, and Charlotte, who's the torchbearer on SmackDown, and they stay away from each other.
The
Yeah,
only
okay, but if-
win-win-win is option C, in my opinion. That's the only win-win-win.
Yeah.
Right? Because then there's win-win losers where it's like, oh, the both belts are defended, whoever walks away. So Becky is a massive win, but Asuka takes the big loss there. She's not even on the
Okay,
card.
I'm-
Right? Like, the only win-win-win is, Charlotte, you can't do this. You have another belt. You have commitments to SmackDown. Go and face Asuka at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You're no longer fighting.
Because look at this
in
12 months
match.
ago. 12 months ago,
Like-
Asuka and Nakamura were the hottest commodities in WWE heading to WrestleMania.
And now neither of them have a match on WrestleMania.
But
Exactly.
now, let's follow the option C path. Have Charlotte go over and face Asuka now in another in the rematch, which would be fucking brilliant.
Dude, based on the match I had today, it would be fucking amazing. That was a great, SmackDown
It
match.
was. It was an excellent match, but they've had it 2 weeks before WrestleMania. What
Yeah.
are they going to do differently? What are they going to do differently for one? And two, is it just going to be a repeat of last year's WrestleMania where Charlotte goes over?
Make
Does
it a-
Asuka win the belt back after 2 weeks?
Make it a submission match.
I mean,
That's the only thing I could probably think of is just make it submission only between Asuka and Charlotte.
Asuka tapped out last WrestleMania.
Make it pinning combination only.
Ooh.
Because neither
Yeah.
of them have a pinning. Oh no, wait, sorry. Charlotte has natural selection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. But
Asuka's got that dangerous kick that she normally likes to.
yeah, but that pins mid carders, not
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. If we go with that option C route, which seemingly is the win-win-win, we've just had this
Uh,
absolute spectacle
I
today.
don't know. Win-win-win to me is Becky coming out on Raw the next night with both belts, saying I'm the effing man. and just
And she will say that. She will
I know,
say that.
and lapping up just every bit of adulation she deserves. Like I'm talking like, I know I'm trying not to think long term here, but like just her defending both belts for at least until Money in the Bank successfully.
But do you know why they shoved the belt on her?
Because then we get Money in the Bank. Then we get Money in the Bank.
We do too.
Money in the Bank winner. Becky laid out from one of her matches that night. Money in the Bank winner comes out.
Takes one of the belts.
Takes one of the belts.
But
Here we go.
But which one?
Well, that's up to them to decide.
Whichever one she picks up. I like
Yeah.
that.
I like
Look, I like it. I'm not against it. I'm just saying.
I get the
right?
feeling they're really setting this up now.
Why are they
I get
the
the feeling
rocket
this
is being strapped to Becky on that one then? Like,
Well, duh.
But
I get it.
But I think Vince is a little bit pissed off because
Backstage,
Sports
she's Vince's
Center,
favorite.
No, she
Sports
is.
Center just referred to Charlotte Flair as the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair. Like,
mean,
none of her accomplishments at all on Sports Center.
Is that not factually correct?
It is factually correct.
But like, they didn't say, oh, she's a former, 7-time women's champion.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I know, but like,
but Sports Center is mainstream, and WWE is still that weird little it's banana. Anyway, I've been watching too much Scrubs. But Sports Center is mainstream, and WWE is still kind of mainstream, but it's still in its own little world. And to people, and like right now, Ric Flair is blowing up on like the hip hop scene and shit, like being referenced, being in videos and shit. So to the casual observer, seeing on the fucking bottom bit Charlotte Flair, daughter of Ric Flair, says a lot more than Charlotte Flair, 7-time women's champion. I'm just coming from a TV exec point of view here. That is why they did it.
I agree with it, but I also understand the opposite, where it's just like,
I mean, you could have,
but I have so
you
many
could have
achievements.
literally had a scrolling fucking like subheading under that. That's like it started on one and then moved to the other. But whatever. I don't know anything. It's fine.
I want to put this out there. How many more times do you think, moving on from the triple threat match, how many more times do you think they're going to bury Ambrose on TV before he's...
Oh, no,
that's probably it now.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's it. I mean, I said it was it
now.
after the last one.
I think
So
we all,
it's
I think
probably
we all did, to be
definitely
honest.
it now.
No, the report apparently before Raw, so I guess it's wrong. But the report was he's no longer meant to be on Raw television, and
Yeah.
he's not going to be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's not booked. I still think if Seth wins that title, I still think Dean comes out.
Yeah, I think so too.
I want
Like you
him
can
to
say he's
come
not
out.
booked for like a TV, like a
From
match
a
or
card
a
perspective.
segment, but
Just have the Shield guys out there with Seth holding the Universal Championship belt would be
I-
a great way for Ambrose to go out, in my opinion.
I still like what they're doing with Ambrose. I still like the fact that how they're handling him in terms of. I'm not going to say he does the job. He's just doing right by the business as on his way out, right?
he's not the kind of
McIntyre
guy
over.
to stiff the company on the way out.
He's
Like,
not.
He's
doing
Yeah.
his goddamn professional.
He's a
best.
professional.
Like
He is.
yeah, and you can honestly see it. You can honestly see it.
There's no
Everyone
hard feelings.
knows. Everyone knows. But he's still at backstage. He's still cutting these goddamn damn promos. He's still grabbing his script, albeit probably changing a lot of it. But
Yeah.
he's still going out there. He's still putting on a match, and he's still lying
Trips
down.
has probably told
Look at him.
Ambrose many times, look, the door's always open for you to come back.
Yeah, look,
you're
probably.
welcome to come
I
back
mean, that
whenever
was
you
it
want.
was literally in the press release they
Yeah.
put out. It was like, yeah, look, they didn't really even best of luck him or future endeavor him. It was just
Yeah.
like he's just not re-signing, but the door's always open. That was basically the gist of
It's
the.
got to be one of the most well-handled
Yeah.
professional exits I've seen.
Yeah.
Not even in just wrestling,
Do
but
you
in
think?
sport.
Do you think that's
Like-
because of Renee?
Yes, to a degree.
Yeah,
I still, but I also believe
'cause
Dean
she's
has
highly
been in the
regarded
system
backstage
for
too.
a long time too.
yeah.
Like Dean, obviously there are people who have come and gone who have been there longer, but it just seems with Dean's case, he's such an institution, has been the main eventer for a long time.
Yeah.
Right, pretty much since Shield broke off.
And held down
held
SmackDown for a good 6 months
Held down
after
SmackDown
the
along
after
with
the brand
AJ.
split. Yeah,
Yep. And then
Yeah.
went over to Raw and was back again into the big feuds.
yeah.
Right, up until the heel turn.
He's a Grand Slam champion as well.
He's
Yeah.
accredited across the board in WWE, well
Yeah.
accomplished. Like, he's one of the most notable people to have exited this way. Right?
Yeah, true.
And it's
Yeah.
they're handling it so well. I
Yep.
really like what they're doing.
I praise WWE and I also praise Dean Ambrose for
Yeah.
this last 2 months
Oh,
has been probably the best way it's been handled.
I cannot wait until
really-
he shows up on Raw after Mania and we've all been worked.
I know, man.
I cannot wait for the show to close.
Yeah.
Seth going like, I did it for us. The beast has been slain. Yada, yada, yada.
Then Ambrose
Who's
music hits.
next? Bang. Dean Ambrose music hits.
Do you really want another Dean Seth feud? I mean, we saw what happened last time.
After these last 2 months of getting worked,
yes.
it could honestly be Summer of Dean.
Nah. I just think him and Seth don't have good chemistry.
I agree.
As much as
agree.
I hate that,
Dude, I've
like they have excellent chemistry on promo, But
and
when it
extra
comes,
chemistry when it comes to being part of the Shield.
It's just a
when it comes
flat
to the
line
ring,
singles
man,
match.
Yeah, but I don't think they didn't have excellent chemistry when Seth was the heel. I've always said this. I don't think Dean is a heel. I don't think he can work heel in WWE
not
system.
really.
He's the goofy tweener.
And no, I'm not even saying that because I think that's how just we perceive him. I just think he, as a wrestler with his style of wrestling, he can't sell heel unless it's hardcore, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's the ability to be hardcore about it, right? He's just not someone who's promo heel.
Yeah.
PG promo heel. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Like if you go back and watch him in CZW, he was so goddamn intense.
Yeah.
Just so nuts, man. Like he's got those wild eyes.
Mm.
They just burn holes through you.
Yeah. I'm not saying he can't be heel. I'm just saying within the WWE system,
Yeah, I know,
he
he's-
never could have been.
It is a weird, like looking back. I think like retrospectively when his time comes, whatever he does after this, we're gonna look back and go, how the hell did that guy get signed to WWE in the first place?
Yeah. But then
Like-
you'll even look back even harder and go, that man was a world champion, a
Yeah.
main eventer for years,
Yeah.
and well accomplished. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But like the platform that he came from, which was primarily death matches and you know these brutal fucking stunts, the fact that someone at WWE looked past that and said, we can take that and kind of mold it in our image, and it worked for a bit.
Yeah.
Like when the Shield first came out, like he was always the figurehead.
Yeah, we've
of-
said
of
this
the
so
Shield.
many times. He was the star of the Shield in
He
its
was
first rendition.
Yeah, and
obviously
it was
they looked at Roman and gone more potential, but Dean was
Bigger
always
muscles.
carried as.
And then we
the figurehead.
always thought that Ambrose would be the one to turn first.
Yeah.
No, but I think this is why
Definitely.
I praise the first breaking up of the Shield as one
Oh,
of the
'cause
greatest booking decisions.
Yeah, well, because
we knew
so unexpected.
Dean was set because they had groomed him from the very start to be the figurehead. He
Yep.
was the man on the mic. Everyone knew Dean. Roman, we already knew he was getting the push because he had the look, so he just had to be groomed. Seth was the one you looked at and went, "What do you do?" Right? Because the eyes were on Dean, saying, "Well, he's gonna turn."
Yeah.
So if he turns, what does Seth do? So they've just switched it and gone, "What if Seth turns?"
Yeah, I know. It was
Right?
brilliant.
Like,
it was absolutely fucking
And then
brilliant.
all three of them were main eventers at that point. Had Dean had turned in that first rendition, I don't think Seth would have gone on to the success he's had. I think he needed that rub of that massive heel heat in order to get the character we have
Because Triple
today.
H loves both Seth
He does.
and Dean.
He does. I think Seth would have had a far harder time in really solidifying himself with the fans and into the main event mainstream had he had not done that massive heel turn. Had it gone to a Dean, which I think still would have been wasted, right? So it is still very perfect booking that Seth was the one to turn. But had it gone to Dean or had it gone to Roman, and then Seth kind of, whilst he was the other guy in the Shield, and now he's just kind of like no gimmick outside of the Shield,
Yeah.
he would have struggled the most. He needed to turn heel in that era.
Yeah. He's also the ring technician and would have probably got over with his moveset anyway, but
Yeah, but I think he would have gotten over in the same sense that he would have been like a mid-card get over because he's a flyer.
yeah.
He needed that aspect of his character,
It took so
the
long.
authority cunt.
Yeah,
in order to
it was so good.
Yeah.
When he came out, and the first thing he said, like the
Because
crowd's
Roman's
chanting, "You sold
character,
out."
I'm just a big guy that's going to beat people up. Still kind of is.
I love Chill Roman.
I like Chill Roman now.
Chill Roman
it's an
is
advancement of his
the
character.
best.
There's now a story to it.
Yeah.
Dean always had a story to it. Dean was always a character, so he
Yeah.
was going to be fine.
I don't know.
Right? Whether he was mid-card or main event. But Seth, whilst he was in the Shield for the first rendition, didn't really have a character. He was just a guy who wrestles.
Yeah.
Everyone in the Cruiserweight division is just the guy who wrestles.
I mean,
We
he
should have
was
had
the- he was
Chill.
the architect.
Yeah.
We should have had Chill Roman a lot.
A lot longer
Earlier.
ago. Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
earlier.
It should have been
Way,
Chill
way
Roman
earlier.
from the get-go. But I think like just like the sheer amount of accomplishments that these three guys have had in, let's face it, a relatively short time.
Yeah, my God.
Like they're still put up there as like one of the best factions of all time, and like the fucking stats prove it.
Yeah.
And just the reaction that the initial breakup had on everybody. Like the three of these guys deserve a moment together at this Mania if it is going to be the last pay-per-view that all of them are present.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And
At. Something has to happen.
And they've been dubbed pretty much the greatest stable since Evolution.
Yeah. And they beat Evolution twice, so they're better than Evolution. Hey, they did.
You reckon they're the best all time?
Stable.
Yeah.
4
Where do
horsemen.
you rate New Day? Now
New-
with
dude,
this
New Day-
developing aspect of their
The-
gimmick now,
The minute that, and like I think
the minute that Kofi wins that belt, do you think that
puts
him
him
in,
up there, man.
Yeah.
puts him into
Okay, but that's the thing.
'cause
Like, did you see the promo they cut on WWE on the YouTube channel after SmackDown went off the air?
maybe, I think.
They came out and said something that is just in front of your face, but you never think about it. They were like, "We've been together 5 years. Never once even teased breaking up. Never once even came close."
And Xavier is the most vocal about it.
Yeah.
Every time on Up, Down, Down, every time in interviews, they'll just be like, "So when are New Day breaking up? Who's turning on
He's like,
who?"
never.
I mean, every other faction does it. It's
Never.
just like, no, in my contract, I ain't ever turning. It's never happening.
Yeah.
As soon as they say to me, "We're going to break New Day up," I walk.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Xavier has been the most vocal about this. And that it's you never hear about it from any other faction
That's
ever.
why his heel turn will be so effective.
No.
It's never gonna happen. But like they've been together for like it's been 5 years. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And now like
the best thing for them was them becoming the bad guys originally
but that is
because they got them over.
Yeah.
that is just booking 101 when it comes to wrestling. Is you have a bad guy, they prove the fact that they're actually really fucking good at what they do, and the crowd comes on side. It's the Rock story, 100%. But we have obviously to sort of wrap up the week's stuff. Kofi.
Let's do it.
Okay.
But
Kofi.
also bleeding into that discussion of faction, with this development of their gimmick now, with the whole, we are New Day, and we firmly stand behind Kofi Kingston as our world champion.
I think this
This is, I can't imagine
this was
another faction who's done this.
I know. I mean,
I don't even think Evolution...
Evolution built a career around having every belt.
every belt.
Yeah. And they would do stuff to but they would interfere in matches to ensure that Triple H kept that belt.
Yeah.
This is more them going out being like, you can do this by yourself.
Yeah. And
But-
there's no animosity, there's no jealousy.
Exactly.
Right now, obviously. Or
I still don't
maybe
think
they float it, but that would be
I-
the dumbest thing
I
they
know
would do.
they need to have
don't-
if Kofi
don't
does
ever
if Kofi
float
does
this.
win, they need to become an even more united front.
Yeah, they come out. It's like literally the most heartfelt thing. Having them come out and just
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
we did it.
And that's kind of the story they're telling is like
'Cause
there is
honestly-
there is the can we all just admit there is the subtle undertone of a slight bit of like his race comes into how this story's been told.
Yeah.
It's been just under the
But that's
surface.
the underpinning story of their whole gimmick. isn't
Exactly,
it? Like,
exactly.
that's-
And
yeah.
but it's been worked in a way, and a lot of people have been comparing this online to Triple H versus Booker T, which was not handled subtly, not handled well.
Kofi Kingston wins this. He is actually the first ever
I mean,
WWE champion, not world champion, WWE specifically.
yeah, but like someone did talk to The Rock about that.
Oh, and then
recently.
Rock came out and said, I saw the tweet.
Yeah,
He was like, whilst I am...
he's half African.
He's half African American, half
yeah.
Samoan.
Yeah, like
think
he plays to his Samoan roots a lot more than he does his
That's what
African American
he
roots.
said. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a.
Do they market it that way? Is what I'm saying. Do they sit there and be like?
I mean, the dirt sheets have
the dirt sheets.
but
will sit there
whether
and market it,
WWE actually
make
because the minute I started
Kofi
hearing,
Kingston is the first ever African American born.
yeah.
The
The first time I heard that, my first initial reaction was like, I'm like, what? The Rock exists, but then like you're right, he does.
plays more to the Samoan aspect.
He,
Yeah,
he
he
does
does.
really play up the Samoan aspect of his heritage, which fair enough. I mean, the same as Jordan Peele playing up his black heritage because he's half white, half black.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's you know.
He's the first African American world champion since King Booker.
Yeah, but he will be the first ever WWE one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lineage type.
Yeah.
And also,
Booker's won
Mark
the
Henry
world
won it
title.
after Booker did.
He did. Oh, he
Yeah.
did too. Yeah.
The Hall of Pain.
That's why. Yeah.
Oh,
God.
excellent.
That was
gimmick.
great.
How
Excellent
good was
gimmick.
that run for Mark Henry, man? It was so good. The Hall of Pain was perfect. But anyway, Kofi's in. But like I was saying to you earlier, like having, like this just plays to their strength as a unit. Having Xavier and Big E be the ones to get Kofi into the
That's
match.
brilliant.
It's such
brilliant.
and like we said, it probably should have been the match or either set up last week or it should have been the match last week. It shouldn't like it. They're really like this is the first time I can think of that we're 2 weeks out and we don't have a fully confirmed card yet. They usually have all this set up by that
they have
that
13
last pay-per-view.
confirmed right
13
now.
confirmed, potentially 17, but that is with people assuming that somehow Cena and Undertaker are both on this card
Yep.
and will have separate matches.
Yep.
And then I think the SmackDown tag hasn't been announced, nor has the Raw tag.
No, but they're
Which I'm
still.
assuming we're getting next week.
They're thinking it's Usos Hardys. That's what the
Yeah, because
nature
they
is-
cut a promo on the Hardys last week or the
The
week before.
One of my biggest takeaways from this SmackDown was the Usos forfeiting that
how
position.
fucking
That-
good
What
was
much
that?
respect for the
Talk
Usos.
about the most well-developed long-term story
Yeah,
in wrestling right now,
Yeah.
I would argue,
Yep.
is this Uso New Day rivalry.
Yep.
And just a little respect to it. Like, just
Yeah.
for them to be like,
It-
no, we ain't doing it. We have the most respect for New Day. We have the most respect for Kofi.
I got goosebumps. when they
I'm getting goosebumps talking about
Same
it because
here.
it was played off as a bit insignificant comparatively to the whole arc that we're telling there.
Yeah.
But it's so significant when you know the history that those two tag teams
Oh,
have had,
dude, like they.
right?
They're probably the best rivalry in
It's a
modern
nod.
day WWE.
It's a nod to story.
Yeah.
Right? It's not them sitting there going, all right, you've booked us and said we have to fight these guys. I guess we'll do it. Right? I like to believe they've taken it upon themselves going, why are we going to fight them? We just spent 3 years doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end of that conclusion, we all shook hands. Like, we have the most respect
Yeah.
for these people.
Yeah.
That.
And last week, we were backstage watching Kofi Kingston get into this.
Yeah, exactly.
Why the fuck would
Yeah.
we come out now and try and stop
Yeah.
what we were supporting?
And then they turned
Yeah.
around and said,
It's brilliant
yeah,
continuity.
they said
It
we,
is.
Brilliant.
we want Kofi Kingston to be WWE champion and we want him to wrestle against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
Oh.
We forfeit. We're not doing this. And then
I am so behind
And then when
this.
Big E and Xavier Woods won the match and Kofi came out and the entire roster came out, the Usos were out there as well,
Yeah.
clapping, cheering because
Yeah.
they were so happy for them.
Shoot. This Kofi arc is better than the Daniel Bryan arc.
Are you vibing it more? I think
Kofi
only
Kingston
because
underdog arc.
I agree.
this feels a little bit rushed. Because I never think this was their original plan.
No.
Because of the Mustafa Ali aspect.
Oh, but I refuse to believe that Mustafa Ali was meant to be in this position right now.
I really feel like he was, man.
I think it was definitely meant to be Kevin Owens, who was meant to
No,
come back and then work an angle with Bryan going for the next 3 weeks.
Would have been Mustafa Ali at Fastlane.
Yeah, and it would stop there.
And then Kevin Owens
And
would
then
have come back
Kevin
a bit
Owens.
later.
But because of how hot Kofi has become with the fans,
If this
Yeah,
They've
even
turned around
like
and said-
this didn't start at Rumble. This started
Even.
after Rumble. Whereas the Daniel Bryan
Yeah.
thing had a good 2 months, and it feels like because CM Punk walked out that Rumble, the Daniel Bryan reaction happened at the same Rumble, and I really believe the next night on Raw, they had the discussion back of house, and they were like, "Okay, Daniel Bryan is in this story. We start from that Raw and work to Mania." Whereas this was like a couple of weeks before Elimination Chamber,
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
week before Elimination
no,
Chamber.
this was 5 days before Elimination Chamber.
Okay, so yeah, before
They would
Elimination
have
Chamber.
gone kind of week by week.
And they would have been
after
like
Chamber.
trying,
I think they would have
trying,
gone.
trying to
okay.
gauge what's actually
Yeah.
happened. So it feels more rushed, and like I said,
It feels more
just-
calculated, in my
and
opinion.
it does feel more
It's
calculated.
more
as well.
calculated. I
Whereas
think
like
you're onto something when you say Daniel Bryan might have started the Raw after Rumble,
and it,
but they didn't book it calculated wise. Like
you know,
they
it
still
felt
messed
more,
around.
It felt
with
more organic.
Yo, no, I'm not saying the Kofi one is organic. It's
Yeah.
organic in it's organic in the sense that they have listened immediately. And
Exactly,
gone,
exactly.
Oh, wait a minute. So you got that pop at Elimination Chamber. We're not going to wait 5 weeks before we recognize it. It's like, no, we recognized it.
Yeah,
He's going to Mania. Don't worry.
I fully believe that like they had the Daniel Bryan thing in their minds
For Ali?
immediately.
Yeah.
No, like as I say,
I'm-
like back in the day, like they had
yeah.
the day after Royal Rumble,
Just
they put on the booking sheet Daniel Bryan in
Because
main
originally
event.
it was-
Then you got to
but
work
you
the
got
story
you give
to get to that point.
You give some credit to CM Punk for the walkout for Daniel Bryan to go over in that regard.
CM Punk was going to fight Triple H.
But
That
him
Mania.
walking out,
And Daniel Bryan was going to fight
Shook.
Sheamus in the pre-show.
Yeah.
move
but
gears.
Still,
Move gears.
that night, the reaction that he got for not being in the Rumble,
Was
they,
definitely.
they could not have.
Rey
they
Mysterio at
could,
30? My
they
God,
could
nuclear.
not have ignored that
Oh,
the
no,
next
no, no,
day,
no shit.
whether CM Punk walks out or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
But WWE had plans for Bryan and Sheamus to be on the pre-show at
Yeah.
30. That was their original plan with Punk facing Triple H. And
Which
Batista
is
versus Randy Orton as the main
the
event.
dumbest thing ever because
But
they had.
CM Punk gets credit then because him walking out
I agree with Yang.
really turned some cogs.
Because,
Right?
because basically Triple H and Vince went, okay, shit,
Yeah,
I
Punk's walked
still
out.
say it's one of those things where
Where-
you're going to end up in the same situation anyway.
Oh, we will never really know. We'll never,
No.
which is fine. There's no
I-
point
I know.
talking about.
It's always a
right?
what if.
But what we have now, and this,
Yeah.
from what we've been exposed to, and in the time frame, I think the time frame plays a lot of
Yeah.
it gives it a lot of credit. So we're not sitting here with months worth of build, which for most people would be like,
It's about, what, 6
want
weeks
it.
worth of build?
Yeah, for me, it's like
Yeah.
it's the perfect amount of time
It is.
Right.
It's good. Like they've,
for us to sit here and go, he's
if
earned this position.
his gauntlet match last week was pointless. I feel it didn't
It's pointless
didn't
now.
add to the story.
It's
but the
well
gauntlet,
pointless now.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gauntlet match this week should have happened last week, or
Yeah.
should have been set up last
It
week.
should have what happened this week should have happened last week.
Yep.
And then this week should have been further build. It should have now been the
Yep.
build.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had the preemptive build to leading to the confirmed match. Once match has been confirmed, now we do that build where it's either you do a contract signing or you do any number of things that you can use to put the story over. But with this Kofi arc, I think the added aspect of the New Day and we know they're shoot real life like friends and we know there's so much steam behind Kofi in the locker room. It just feels so shoot.
It does
in its approach,
It
where
does.
it's literally the locker room is behind Kofi, and it's the company man. And Vince.
That really mirrors the Daniel Bryan story though.
It does.
Because you
But
hear
I'm
about the
saying
stuff
I like this one
backstage during his push,
Yeah.
and it's the same story.
Oh.
It's
But this is why we've said it before.
even Batista being like, "Why the hell are you pushing me right now?
Yeah.
I should not be in the main event. This guy should be in the main event.
Yeah.
Why am I a face?"
Batista.
Batista is one of those I love. If
He
you only knew him on his on-screen stuff, you hate him, right?
Yeah.
You look at him and you're going, "What the fuck? Like you're just the
But you
product
hear
of the machine." But he's
everything
got
backstage.
Everything backstage about Batista is just the nicest. He is one of the
Yep.
best. Like he would make a great producer for the WWE.
Yeah.
Should he choose to?
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately his nipples are still invisible on the WrestleMania card. Which
Oh,
is not the funniest thing.
He's also
that's
still
great.
meant to be dead from the snap. So
Yeah, no,
like,
how is he here? Yeah, no, but he
Well, he got what he wanted because
He-
James Gunn's now back directing Guardians of the Galaxy
yeah,
Volume
so I
3.
guess
So
they
he's-
undo the snap.
he's
but-
definitely coming back for as fucking
Drax.
Drax. Thank you.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. But yeah, like
But I'm
he.
so well into this Kofi arc right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, I'm all aboard Kofi Mania.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Yeah,
Like all of us and everyone else in
Yep.
the world.
Yeah, I know.
It's not to say that we're
It's
different,
not.
right?
It's definitely not yes movement levels, but it's about as close as we've gotten since then.
You need to title this podcast Kofi Mania.
I was going to.
Good.
Wow.
Good.
Don't tell me how to do my
Great
job.
input.
Good.
Don't tell me how to do my
Where
job.
does the WWE title fit into the card now?
I said
So we've been
fourth
confirmed.
to last.
One of the biggest pieces of news that you didn't have on the fucking run sheet, Michael, that I
Oh
did,
yeah, the women
was that the
officially-
women have officially been announced as the main event
event.
of WrestleMania, by the way. Thanks,
Yeah.
Michael, for fucking putting that on the news sheet.
I actually did put it on the fucking news sheet.
I
did.
where is it then? Yeah, good one.
Either he didn't read it or you didn't read it.
So the Raw Women's title match is
Yeah.
confirmed, I guess.
And when I
say confirmed.
when I saw that, I hearkened back to Hell in a Cell 2 years ago. Sorry, when there was 3 main events.
Yeah, that was a meme. That was a meme.
And my first thought was Vince is going to wake up the morning of Mania and just be like, "Nah, Brock,"
This has picked up enough
because he will
steam.
do that. He will do that.
This has picked up enough steam for
Where
it
he
to-
can't do that now.
Where you can't do
He
that
can't
now.
do it. No,
it's gotten mainstream.
It's going to be
eyes.
the last match on the card.
It'll definitely be the last match on the card.
and that's why I think it's Becky leaving, holding both belts at the top of the ramp.
Well, that's why I think they're doing this whole gimmick of get Charlotte out the fuck there. All right, put her in a match with Asuka early in the night, and just give us Becky versus Rousey because that's the story we all know and love.
I know. It's the story that makes the most sense.
But now we know that's the main event. All right, I imagine.
Fourth to
the
last.
penultimate-
WWE fourth to last.
Then what's third to last? Kurt's retirement.
No.
No. Triple H and Batista goes third to last.
And
So
then
Kurt retirement fifth to last.
No, I reckon that's first top end of the second hour of the show.
Jesus fuck.
And-
Okay.
Even before the
What?
Hall of Famers come back out and do their thing. Yeah, I know. I'm stiffing him real hard, but
Actually,
But this is what I was saying last week with Kurt Angle.
okay.
It's like, it doesn't matter
if it's
who
against
he
Baron,
fights.
if it's against Baron Corbin, it's in the first 2 hours. If it's against John Cena, it's in the second 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Actually, how about we keep we'll leave it for next week because what we'll do next week
Predicting
is
the card
we're
order?
gonna predict the card from start to finish where we think each match might go
Oh god. Oh, because we'll have actually confirmed matches by
Yep.
then too.
because we have a confirmation.
Yeah.
So
I still think there's going to be like at least 2 matches that aren't announced that will be on the card.
yep,
I think Elias has a match.
he's performing live.
No, I think but it's Elias performing. When has it ever actually happened?
Just let him have the narrative all throughout the night.
Yeah,
like
please
you, like you
let-
suggested.
Dude, having him narrate it. What did I say? It was like
Just come out after every 3 matches.
Yeah.
and just be like
And just-
the story thus far
just
with
recap.
Elias.
Just recap.
Yeah,
Right.
I would fucking so mark out for that shit,
The
man.
man
It's
doesn't
so
have
good.
to wrestle again for the rest of his life.
I
He'll
know.
possibly be the best.
I
merch
keep
seller that
forgetting he
exists.
actually has theme music.
Oh.
Like whenever he wins a match and that fucking
Does
weird...
he actually have theme music?
Yes,
He does.
Oh,
yes.
bro, I wouldn't
whenever
even
he
know.
wins a match, it's like some just generic guitar shit. I'm just like,
it's,
no.
it's generic Soundgarden music.
He should. It is. Yeah. Exactly what
It's like
it is.
it's
Actually.
it's clearly what Soundgarden
Yeah.
would release.
CFOs were just like, yeah, just distortion, drop D, and power chords.
Yep.
That'll work.
I mean, Chris Cornell, may he rest his soul, would be proud of us.
Yeah, pretty much. I would love him just like him. Oh man, him narrating WrestleMania while Alexa Bliss sits in the middle of the ring like cross-legged looking up and he's just like, I would dig that.
I miss bra and panty matches.
What?
Oh, get off this show, mate. Get off this show.
Oh.
The year-
NXT new.
the year that they are main eventing and you say you want bra and panties matches to come back, you sick son of a bitch.
Quick NXT news.
Quick
Aleister
NXT
Black
news.
and Ricochet, we know they've won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They're going to, take on War Raiders for the NXT Tag Team titles at TakeOver New York, which is going to be fucking amazing.
He has opinions.
Who turns?
Adam Cole, baby! He's in the main event and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. He's going to win that fucking belt. He's going to win that fucking belt. This is the year. This is the year.
Didn't I say to you, Adam Cole's going to be the person who starts it off by winning the big belt?
This is the year they
agree
hold
with the book.
all the
Yep.
gold. They are
agree
holding
with the
all
book.
of that gold.
It's going to happen SummerSlam weekend, in my opinion.
The thing is, Johnny Gargano has to finish off the catharsis of this story. He has to beat Tommaso.
Yep.
It can't be anybody else. It cannot be anybody. He has to win over Tommaso for that belt. That is the only way this resolves. But he's out for like a year.
I was going to say, I don't see Gargano chilling NXT for the next year.
I know. That's
waiting for the end of that.
That's the thing.
Do
so
it
that's
on the
why,
main roster.
That's why he comes up.
The end of his story now was winning the NXT title because that's the last thing on his checklist. If you've been keeping up with his socials,
No, I have.
Yeah.
I don't think he crosses that off. I think.
Oh no, I think he crosses it off.
I think Adam gets it. I think.
No, I
Adam
think
Cole,
he gets it,
baby.
but I think Johnny is the one to chase him afterwards.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon Johnny chases him afterwards.
I mean, that would be a good story leading up to SummerSlam.
Yeah. And then Johnny goes over.
Oh,
And
but
maybe-
at some
maybe
point
they stretch it out
in
for
there,
Tommaso
at
to come
some
back.
point in there, you have to have Undisputed Era with all the gold.
Yeah.
And this
Problem is, though, they're not doing a takeover for Money in the Bank this year.
Oh, they're stiffing Money Bank as a top 5. Stiff.
Well,
Stiff.
it's only because Money in the Bank has been moved back to May.
Yeah. That's
So
what
it's
I
only a
mean,
month
man.
after.
Fuck.
So they're not doing another takeover until SummerSlam, which really sucks. So at
I
some
get
point,
it.
unless you just drop,
At a house show.
yeah, unless
or
they
at a
pick up
taping.
all the titles on TV, which
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it
Yeah.
either. But it's a bigger moment to have.
At a
Say
takeover.
it's Roddy, Roddy winning over
Velveteen.
Velveteen at a takeover to claim that last belt.
You have the North American title.
That feels like a bigger moment than just him winning it on an episode of NXT.
Yeah.
So
Because originally what was supposed to happen was Gargano was supposed to beat Ciampa for the NXT title, and then Ciampa was to have neck surgery after TakeOver.
yeah, but it crept up on him.
Yeah, but
Sucks, man.
But Triple H even said, "I don't want to risk Ciampa getting severely hurt and being paralyzed in this match."
That's 100% fair, and I get it. And like the best thing in the world was the picture of him with the neck brace, and he put a bit of white tape around like one of the straps on Goldie, and he was just holding it. I'm like, God damn, man, this guy, he is his gimmick. He is like he's one of those guys that like you can just tell that, and even Stone Cold has said this. Is like the belt is a shoot. At the end of the day, if you have the belt, you should be the best in the business. You should be the guy who's carrying the fucking business forward and setting it up for the next 5 years. And like Tommaso Ciampa is like, to him the belt feels like a shoot. Like he respects the shit out of it, and he respects the fact that he's been able to hold it for as long as he has, and he had to give it up.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back as a face, man. Whether they want him to or not, he's gonna come back as the biggest fucking face.
I
on the
love
back.
his music, by the way. I love his theme song.
Yeah, I came around to it eventually. I did like the silence, him just walking out to the booze. But once the booze subsided, you needed something.
Yeah, you knew it
Because
wasn't gonna
the crowd, it took him about a month to turn.
Yeah.
But
But then
it's
it was
such
like,
a
no, this guy is so fucking good.
It's such a heelish song too. The song he
Oh,
comes
it
out
is,
to,
yeah,
too,
yeah.
which I love. Absolutely love.
Yeah, I dig the song. It took me a while to come around to it, but I dig the song now. But like, he's gonna come back to the biggest fucking pop. And then I hope he tells the crowd to go fuck themselves. Like, that is exactly what he needs to do.
Come out and do the Jericho. I've always respected the Jericho.
I was gonna say no Rollins, because Rollins turned on the crowd. He's just like, I sat in a hospital bed. I did rehab for the last 9 months.
Oh, that's
And
right,
did
too.
any of you guys give me any well wishes or anything like that? No.
No,
Yeah,
that's
there were,
easy.
gave me
there, were
nothing.
there were probably thousands
Yeah.
of them on Twitter.
That's easy. That's easy. That's low brow hate.
Yeah.
You get that high class
It's
hit
cheap
that
heat.
Jericho
Yeah.
comes in and he's just pop. It's just like, fuck yeah, I'm back. Runs around the ring, runs around the ring, runs
Yeah.
around the ring, comes into the ring, holds
Yep.
the mic, puts the mic down, runs out.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a fucking word.
Yep.
That is high class hate.
Yep.
Get
yeah,
Tommaso to do that.
I was going to say, quickly,
We'll wrap up with some indie news.
Indian local news as well. And then we've
Yes,
also got Give Me What I Want as well.
boy. Wait, have you put down? Okay, you have. That's fine.
Yep. So quickly go through these. So Flip Gordon has unfortunately re-injured his knee. He's come out with a tweet.
Man.
This is his tweet. Unfortunately, this morning I woke up and my knee was completely locked up. I was able to make it onto my flight and just landed back home, but still can't bend it completely. I have a doctor's appointment scheduled for tomorrow morning. Hashtag positive vibes. Now, I spoke to Flip at World Series Wrestling. He told me he was 2 weeks away from being perfect. He said he could feel that he was so like. Apparently, he said to me he was in when I spoke to him when I got the autograph thing from Flip. He told me that he was in tears for the fact that he couldn't wrestle at World Series Wrestling because he loves performing in Australia,
Yeah.
and that really hurt him.
And you know he would have had some thing booked for the G1 Supercard.
Yeah.
Like the fact he's missing out on a spot at Madison Square Garden has got to be killing him.
It
Like
is.
that is bucket list stuff for a wrestler.
Yep.
To do the Garden, like that sucks. Man. He's so he's so good.
Yep.
Maybe he needs to stop flipping around so much.
Speaking of Johnny Gargano, he's Mrs. Gargano is under the radar of AEW, of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, who are desperately trying to get Candice to sign with them.
Yeah, because they want to
Gargano's an institution within WWE now.
they want to get the fucking world's cutest tag team back together.
Yeah.
Because
Have they signed Joey?
Because of course he's going to sign. Because he just next bit of news, he just got out of his Lucha Underground contract, and so did a bunch of other wrestlers.
He's
Yep.
now a free agent, Joey Ryan.
He is, and
He
he's going to
is.
sign with AEW in about 2 days. I give it 2 days. Literally,
Due to
2 days.
financial restraints and lawsuits coming from Lucha Underground, including Joey Ryan, Thunder Rosa, Ivelisse, Phantasma, and King Kerno. Co-EP of Lucha Underground, Krista Joseph, has said last month that the show is dead and that it is very unlikely that season 5 will happen
Oh, wow.
because they're under they're under so much
Dude,
financial strain.
their exclusive contracts were killing people. Like because that's why fucking Johnny Mundo has to wrestle at every single promotion under a different name because they own
No.
they own Johnny Mundo now.
It's like Ricochet; they own the name Prince Puma.
They own He had to wear a mask to wrestle for them.
Yeah.
If you wanted to wrestle anywhere in the States as Ricochet, he had to put the mask on.
Apparently, Ricochet hated wearing the mask.
Yeah.
He hated doing it. He thought it was stupid.
Yeah, but that was the problem with their exclusive contracts, and their exclusive contracts killed the business for them. So they're gone.
Kazuchika Okada has taken out the New Japan Cup and will take on Jay White at the G1 Supercard. in a
Did
few
you
short
guys?
weeks.
I like it.
Did you guys
I
watch
like it.
Okada v Will Ospreay?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Great match.
Fuck me, they're so good. They are so good.
It's got to be the most animated I've ever seen you. Oh my god.
Well,
Well, dude, I mean,
fuck me.
it's Ospreay and
he needed some time alone after watching that match
I
too, by the way.
did.
Osprey.
Ospreay and Okada, man. Ospreay is God, he's good.
Osprey is.
If you're about to say overrated, I'm
No.
gonna fucking murder you.
Actually, fucking the opposite. Like, that dude is so fucking talented. And I know he's been on the radars of everyone.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about his business decision of I'm never settling down to a specific promotion.
Dude, he's 23.
That's nuts.
Give him time. Give him time.
What? He's 23?
I think he's 20. Hang on.
Who's
What?
it?
Will Ospreay. How old's Will Ospreay?
Stand by.
I know he's real young, dude.
23?
He's real young.
25.
25. Sorry, 25.
He was born in 1993, so he was born the year I was born.
I give him until 28
Okay.
before
Well,
he sits
sorry,
there and goes,
the
AEW, New Japan, WWE,
Yeah, but
exclusive
that's-
contracts, which one?
3 more years that he can go around and just keep
Oh,
collecting
but-
talent and skills from
Like-
different places.
I
Okay,
want to
what
try
is-
and build
what
an
is-
argument to the idea
what is
of,
the one place
is
he
this
really-
actually going to hurt him in the long run?
What is the one place he really hasn't gone yet?
WWE!
No. Like the one region. He's
Oh.
done America, he's done Japan, he's done Europe and Asia.
He's done Australia.
You've just left South America then, I guess. Yeah,
Mexico.
There
Mexico.
you go.
He goes to Mexico, he goes to AAA or CMLL and just develops, because wherever he goes, he adopts part of their style.
Yeah.
So he got the British...
Actually, if you're coming from it from that perspective, you know what?
He
might be one of the best long-term stories.
He is a student of the game.
Yeah.
He adopts from every place he goes to. because he grew up like when he was training, it was British strong style plus the lucha influences of the dojo that he was in. So he got the flippy, but also got the hard hitting. Goes to Japan, adopts strong style. Goes to Europe, adopts a bit of their fucking brawling aspects of it. Comes to Australia.
He wants to be the torchbearer for Australian wrestling, he said. After facing Slex
he said
and
that.
Adam Brooks. He wants to be the torchbearer.
Yeah, but I mean...
then he hasn't come back since.
Not yet.
He has. He's done bits and pieces here and there, but like for the most part, he's got a very like a non-exclusive, but a very, very good contract with New Japan.
Yep.
So he prioritizes that first. But he does like having Japan as a base because it can make him... it's easy for him to get to Australia from there, to New Zealand, where Big Presley's from.
You're
like,
right.
It's also not
His
too far for
spears now
England
in
as well.
AEW. Do you think that motivates him a bit more? Now that Beer's signed AEW.
I get the feeling that he's going to spend, like I said, I reckon he gets about 28. Because 28 was when Adam Cole signed the WWE. That's 28.
Yeah.
Gets to 28.
I reckon gets 28. You
Gets
got
to 28.
3 more years of being king of the Indies.
Gets to 28, and at that point, let's say it's 3 years from now, Ricochet is maybe the WWE champion.
Oh, you're fucked.
And
does he do NXT system?
Well, Ricochet signed when he was 29 to WWE.
No. By that point, Real Ospreay should be the new Kenny Omega, the guy that's too big for the Indies, the guy that everyone is like, he needs to come to WWE. He goes straight to main roster.
He's got a name to him.
And
like,
we get,
I agree with everything you're saying.
Ricochet versus Will Ospreay, that match, but in a WWE setting, which means it'll probably be toned down a little bit, but not by much. We get that match for the WWE title, and all the marks just fucking lose their minds and go crazy on Twitter saying, this is flippy bullshit. And we're just like, nah, it's fucking sick. What do you want about, you crazy people?
In 3 years is going to be fucking... Honestly, the industry after Mania is going to be different.
It is.
Because this is...
It is. This feels like a bit of a...
This feels like the end of the era now. It feels like a turn of the tide.
The reality... I think this is going to be the end of the reality era.
Yeah, I think we're
going to move on to something different. Yeah. And I have no idea what the fuck it's going to be.
I like where it is, though. Because if everything goes according to plan... It'll well and truly be the next evolution in the industry.
Actually, after this WrestleMania, and I know this might sound like a bit of a stiff, but I think it's more of we've gotten to this point, let's just shut up about it. No more banging on about women's stuff.
Agreed.
Like, from like, this is the first one. Like, just
They're
treat
performers.
It equally.
Yeah.
Just give it, like, don't push it as much.
Yeah.
I think maybe as long as they've got the Saudi Arabia deal, they are going to keep pushing the women's stuff. But just get to a point where whatever the best story is going into a pay-per-view, that gets the headline. And don't make a big deal about it being the headlining match. Just do it.
This is the last of the... Aside from if they do the Saudi show, this is the last of the first.
It really is. But
that's a good thing. I don't understand people would be like, but that's a bad thing. So what do you mean we'll stop talking about it? No. Now they're equal to men in that regard of...
Just give them... Like, they've got the tag straps now. Just have them be...
It's not of the perspective of, we've just done it just to get it done, right? It's like, no, now there's just nothing more to sit there and go, we can't run the first of anymore. It's now, they got a Royal Rumble, they've got a tag, now another tag competition is coming up, they've got a Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
It's like, they are now very much a system of everything the men are now have to do.
Yeah.
Well, right? And the revolution's over. They've revolted. They've won.
Yeah,
like
exactly. This is the victory lap. Headlining WrestleMania.
Yeah, headlining
is the victory lap.
Now we discussed it months ago, but now that it's been official that they're doing the main event of WrestleMania, I swear to God, if every single fucking woman comes out at the end of that show and like they all hug in the ring like they did in Evolution, and they're just like, "We did this," I'm done. I'm done with the breaking of kayfabe.
Really. Oh, like from a cave, like not just
Ronda Rousey should not stand up after being beaten and
just
go
the face locker room, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We did this, and then hugs Becky. Like,
what?
No.
Less flour.
Fuck, no.
Less flowers and chocolates and champagne, that sort of stuff.
No. This is wrestling. They have to be on Raw the next night.
Well, what about the NXT? Like when the four horse, like what is that? Is that to the same level? Like after Becky, Sasha Bayley.
Sasha Bayley can, because I guess they in gimmick story, there's no beef between Becky and Sasha and Bayley. They're still the four horsewomen in that regard. There's beef between them and Charlotte. Charlotte's pretty much just gone fuck you all.
Yeah, no, but like after that match,
Charlotte should not come out or should not stand up and hug Becky Lynch, being like, not only am I proud of you for this main event moment that you're having with the win, assuming she wins, but we all get to share in it. Like, no. Your story still persists. You're still going to be on Raw the next night. You still have a job to go to. Kayfabe still needs to exist. Your win was the fact that you got the wrestle in the main event.
Do you reckon they're going to do that?
Don't come out with all the women like this. And it's not a stiff.
Do you reckon?
It's not a stiff.
Do you reckon they've done this just to have that spot at the end of the night where Becky's got the Raw, Charlotte's got the SmackDown, and the other girls have got the tags?
The 4 horsewomen.
Yes.
And
we said this weeks ago, and I was behind it weeks ago.
I don't like it at this point.
I don't like it at this point because it's not only was it not how it was meant to go down, but if this had been their plan the whole time, then you've really fucked it up. But I'm not against the idea of it being Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley and Sasha with belts, right?
Yep.
It's just the story that they've told now doesn't allow for that. But if they do end up doing that, I'm going to be left confused. I get it.
Yep.
Just you should have made that decision more.
The Becky and Charlotte thing, I think, is too much of a rift at the moment. You can't rectify
exactly.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No. I'm
I get it.
I'm agreeing.
Let them do a backstage photo, right, for their own
done.
No,
like
100%.
personal friends.
The WrestleMania 24, like the 24 documentary of this WrestleMania,
Yeah.
is going to have 2 very prominent images. Possibly
The
the
four horsewomen
of
together?
them with 4 belts backstage.
Hell, actually,
And it's going to be the 3 New Day and the 2 Usos
Yep.
hugging backstage.
you know what? Now I'm salty. Hold on.
Hold that thought for next week.
Wait, hold
I
on.
gotta
I
wrap
just want to end with this real quickly.
Okay.
Now I'm salty at the fact that, because we've just mentioned it, they could have actually ended this show with the 4 horsewomen holding all the belts and then just have Ronda's 4 horsewomen come out as well. That would have been pretty lit. And then you just build to next Mania or something with that.
Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are not ready.
I know,
Yeah,
but
I know it's annoying.
you can't pretend like they don't have that dynamic already.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll end there.
We've got a little bit of local news just to get through as well quickly. As I said, World Series Wrestling announced Penta and Ray Phoenix the headliners, Joey Janelle as well. Boiling Point happened as well. Tech was stripped after no-showing the event on Saturday night. I'm not going to delve too much into what happened because I know a bit of the politics behind of what's happened backstage. Black turned heel on Brooks. Brooks is now heading overseas. He's going to team up with Robbie Eagles at WrestleCon 6th of April against LAX, which is fantastic for both Brooks and the Sniper of the Skies.
It's a good match.
Premier Pro Wrestling also have an event coming up as well. Tyson Baxter, who's currently still injured, he will hopefully be 100% by the 6th of April for his ladder match with Ruka, Jane Jacobs, and Iman and the kids. And then finally, I'll have to do this as well. I finally got the singer through. So, I'll play it first.
Give me what I want.
So what I want from wrestling this week is I want the Raw and SmackDown belts to be decided ultimately.
Wait, what?
I want the Raw and SmackDown belts to be decided, like who's facing who at WrestleMania for the Raw and SmackDown tag team title belts.
The tag
you
titles.
should have specified tag.
Tag titles.
I
Yep.
said tag titles. You,
You
just didn't
you-
listen because
you
you
said-
want your...
Listen back on the audio. You didn't say it
said,
anyway.
You said belts.
You
said belts.
That's what I want.
I'm still thinking about what I want.
Oh no, I got something.
Give me what I want.
I want. I just want. Yeah, I just want finality to the card at this point. That's all I really want is just let us know, because we have to do a prediction video next week, and my God, if the card isn't complete by I think Wednesday or Thursday when we can actually find time to record the fucking thing.
Yep.
I just need the card to be finalized by tomorrow, like by next week. Just give me that so I don't have to worry about it,
Yep.
and then go back and re-edit the goddamn video because there's card changes last minute. Just give me a final card, and also because I'm hosting WrestleMania this year, kind of want to know how long this show is going to be, because God, I need to know how much booze to buy.
Give me what I want.
I want Charlotte out of that main event.
Want.
Simple
Give me
as
what I want.
simple as that.
Fair
She's
enough.
now the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Fair enough.
You have an obligation to SmackDown.
Fair enough.
Go wrestle Asuka.
Yep.
You're not allowed to be in that match.
Yep,
Done.
that's fair enough. All right,
Give me what I want.
stop playing that.
So good.
All right, so we're out of here. You can follow us everywhere at Straymania at STRAYMANIA POD. Sorry, Straymania Pod. Twitter and Instagram, Straymania Podcast on the Facebooks and the YouTubles.
Yep.
Keep an eye on the YouTube because our prediction video will be going up there next week, around roughly the same time as the podcast goes up. Go home show next week. Fucking keen as. You can follow me everywhere at Ricki Needs at RICKINEEDS, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. David.
_ the Half-Cast Prince on Instagram.
And I'll do Twitter at Tomo Media. Also, keep an eye out too, because David Yang's co-hosting with me on Lewis and Tomo this week as well, alongside Amy Cunningham and potentially Ursula Carlson to talk all things Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
No plugging your radio show on the podcast.
It's all part of the Heartifact Network.
Nope.
That is true.
That is very true.
Cheeky plug. All right. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Heartifact Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to heartifactstudios.com.au.